And what you find is that compared to other nuts, almonds has got the highest amount of proteins, the highest amount of dietary fibers, niacin, riboflavin, antioxidant vitamin E, which is a very good quality antioxidant, and calcium. But it doesn't end there. If you look at the fat profile, is by and large unsaturated fat, either monounsaturated fat or polyunsaturated fats. There's very little saturated fat, so it's really good fats that the body needs. Apart from that, it's got important minerals, it's got folate, it's got magnesium, it's got potassium, manganese, copper, all of which are very important for the human body. That's one of the reasons why almonds are known as the king of dry fruits. Now, our growers in California have seen the growing market demand for almonds as people are getting more aware of the health benefits of almonds. And responding to that, they've been increasing the acreage under almond cultivation. So, if you look at 1980, there was around 91.5 thousand acres under almond cultivation. That has steadily grown. This year we crossed 860,000 acres. So that's the kind of growth we've seen in terms of acreage. And that's expected to go up next year to 890,000 acres. And with that has come growth in shipments. So shipments, which is 970 million pounds in 2003, has grown up to be 1.93 million pounds in the previous year, and going forward is expected to be 2.1 billion, 1.93 billion pounds in the previous year, is expected to be 2.1 billion pounds this year. So it'll be huge growth in shipments, and as you can notice, 70% of it is exports. So we were asking ourselves a question: if that's been the volume of shipment growth, then what is the potential of the market? Is it going to continue to grow? And the answer is quite resoundingly yes, because if you look at the North American market, 8 years in a row we've had record shipments. In 2013-14, the shipments showed a 9% growth in the domestic market. Along with that, export markets are growing, and part of the growth is coming from the emerging markets. If you look at Asia Pacific region, which was around 22% of the export market in 2003-04, has now grown up to be 34% of the market. So there's been 12% growth in a growing market, and basically fueled by growth in China and India. So China, if you look at the previous year, was the second largest export market in the world, and India was the fourth largest. So what's the Indian story? Indian story, you know that almonds is part of Indian tradition and culture, but what we are finding is there's been a sharp growth in consumption which has been happening. If you look at 2009-10, the shipments from California to India was around 84 million pounds, which grew by almost 48% by 12-13 to become 125 million pounds. Then in the previous year, as you know, the rupee depreciated and all commodity imports got impacted, so did we get impacted, and we had a dip of 18% in shipments, ending up at 102 million pounds. But this year, with the rupee somewhat stabilizing against the dollar, though at a lower rate, we've seen a 26% growth of shipments to India. In fact, if you take a 9 months period from August to April, our crop year is from August to July, our shipments at 106 million pounds exceeds that of the entire year, of the entire previous year of 102 million pounds. And finally, what's our share of the Indian market? California dominates the Indian market with 76% share of almonds. So chances are that if you have had almonds today, it would probably have come from California. The second largest origin coming into India is Australia, which has another 17%. So between California and Australia, we have around 93% of the market here, and the rest is built up by other origins like Iran, Afghanistan, Syria, etc. So that's all I have from the California Almond Industry and Almond Board of California.